You can't say it, but you know it's true. Good evening, everybody. It is an honor to be here at my last, and perhaps the last, White House Correspondents' Day. You all look great. The end of the Republic has never looked better.
It's finally happened. It all started with one day you're working your 4 full-time jobs while also attending college and still not making rent. Pretty soon, tyrants, those gross guys with the long tongues, started running rampant, released the T virus. Now there's only one way to enforce the quarantine. Forget social distancing, it's time for martial law. Martial law has been declared numerous times throughout history.
Meine Herren.
But what is martial law exactly?
Fritz, das können die doch nicht machen.
Martial law is typically declared in times of national emergency.
Alles herhören!
Though what exactly constitutes an emergency varies from...
Bei diesen Männern und Frauen handelt es sich russische Saboteure. Sie sind sofort zu erschießen. Vollstrecken.
Seit gestern geht das schon mit dem Abknallen. Von wegen russische Saboteure. Es gibt nichts mehr zu fressen. Das ist der Grund.
Once martial law is declared, most civil rights are temporarily suspended.
Das mache ich nicht.
Lohnt sich nicht, GG. Wenn du nicht schießt, stellen sie dich dazu.
The state governor gets on TV and announces he's enacting martial law to enforce a mandatory quarantine. The first thing you'll notice about your new life is that you've got a curfew again. Only this one is much more restrictive and better enforced than the one your parents set up while you were in high school. You're not allowed to be out of your house from 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. every single day. The curfew is meant to control the flow of people, and it makes it easier for law enforcement to spot bad actors. During wartime, if you were violating curfew at 2 in the morning, there's a good chance you were an enemy saboteur. Curfews during a viral pandemic, though, can also help limit the spread of the disease. And if the outbreak is severe enough, you might not be allowed out of your home at all, except on specific days for specific times. A highly restricted curfew could, for instance, only allow you to leave your home for 3 hours every 3rd day. Each part of a city could have a different curfew, and thus the spread of the virus would be highly limited, as only one part of the city would be away from home at any given time. And the U.S. military assumes control of all law enforcement duties, although existing law enforcement is still active and aids in establishing martial law.
Kannst eh nichts machen. Die armen Schweine, die haben es wenigstens hinter sich.
Because martial law pretty much suspends democracy as we know it,
Kann es nicht.
the arresting authority of military or law enforcement during martial law, however, is not restricted, meaning that you could be arrested and not immediately charged. And that certainly throws the door open to some very scary scenarios, with police and military arresting individuals as they see fit, and is one of the big reasons why martial law is so rarely declared. In most nations, martial law automatically suspends all of your civil rights and gives the military complete police and judicial power.
Der Junge da drüben, der hat für uns gearbeitet.
Für den Ivan auch. Halt's Maul.
Was ist denn hier los? Was ist denn das für eine Schweinerei hier? Wir haben's eilig, wir haben noch mehr da hinten.
If there's one thing country music has taught us, it's that Americans love their freedom, and they don't take kindly to the government infringing on it. Thus, martial law is only declared in the U.S. for the most extreme circumstances, for times when the military is needed to help maintain law and order.
Hauptmann, das könnt ihr nicht machen. Der Junge da, den kenne ich. Für den verbürge ich mich.
Ach, Sie schon wieder? Gefällt Ihnen seine niedliche Visage? Haben wir einen kleinen Fratz zu Hause, der ihm ähnlich sieht? Ha?
Kindermörder.
Halt die Fresse, halt endlich mal die Fresse, Arschloch. Oder willst du dein Strafbataillon?
Jeder an seinen Platz.
Du bist Offizier, tu was.
Fresse, ich mach das schon.
Ruhe! Treten Sie vor, Obergefreiter.
Die Sau bringe ich um.
Lassen Sie Mann los!
Herr Hauptmann, gestatten, dass ich den Mann vertrete.
Nehmen Sie Haltung an, wenn ich mit Ihnen rede. Oder wollen Sie einen Befehl verweigern?
Herr Hauptmann, lassen Sie wenigstens das Kind.
Ja, sind wir ja auf dem Viehmarkt. Jetzt ist aber Schluss mit der Rumjuderei. Und wenn Sie nur einmal daneben schießen, können Sie sich gleich dazustellen. Zurück ins Glied, Obergefreiter. Wollen Sie das Kommando übernehmen?
Recent incidents of martial law include its enactment after the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Und Sie kommen aus einer Offiziersfamilie.
In the
Legt an!
Wieso tut er nichts? Fritz!
Feuer!
During World War II, many Nazi-occupied countries found themselves dealing with German-backed curfews and travel restrictions, necessitating special transit or travel documents. In the U.S., only the president has the power to enact martial law nationally. Each state governor has the right to enact martial law in their own state individually and enforce it with the aid of federal troops as well as the National Guard. And what would it look like in modern life?
The checkpoint's still open.
Only got a few hours left until curfew.
We better hurry up then.
Wait, are you serious?
I gotta serve the damn papers this morning. I've been selected for outside work duty.
Oh, that's such crap. Soldiers are supposed to handle it outside.
I'll make sure to tell them that.
Attention. Citizens are required to carry a certified at all times. Compliance with all city personnel is mandatory.
Look at that. Ration line hasn't opened yet. Must be running low again.
Go. Down on the ground.
Hey, Jesus.
Let's get down.
I didn't do anything wrong! No!
Hands on your fucking head. Do it. All right, scan it. Clean. Clean.
Seems like more people are getting infected.
That just means more people are sneaking.
Where's Mark at? Caught him trying to use fake ration.
Fucking lynched. They got us all new papers. They shouldn't get us any static up there.
Cut 'em up.
Just play it cool.
Retribution is shit. If we ever lose control of this place to the stragglers, that's what'll happen to us.
That would never go down here. Any straggler even looks at me the wrong way, I put his ass down.
I'm sure that's what they thought at every other QZ before riots broke out.
It's those goddamn fireflies. They keep stirring the population up. We put an end to them. That's how you solve this shit.
We agree on that.
Drive on through.
See you, Eddie. Here you go. What's your business here?
Got the day off. Visiting a friend.
Controversially, though, in 2007, President George W. Bush's administration added a provision into a military funding bill that allowed the president to take command of the National Guard units of each state without the governor's consent. If a catastrophe is serious enough or lasts long enough and martial law is necessary for an extended amount of time, along with a curfew, you may need to carry specially assigned movement and travel documents. These will be given to you by the authorities after carefully interrogating your personal life.
Lock the door.
You're taking your car, sir. You're taking your car. No, I'm not. I'm immune. I've already had it. And my daughter's not sick. She's sick. She's not. No, we're just trying to get to Wisconsin. Order is sealed. The governor has declared a quarantine. You're taking your car. No, we don't want to go back there. We want to go across. Sir, there is no way. We're not sick. Your car. You're taking your car or I will be dating you. Where? Get in the car.
As in what you do for a living and what type of non-home medical or specialized care you need. Then the authorities would hand you your documents which authorize you to either be in violation of curfew or travel outside of established control zones so that you can do things like go to work or get a physical therapist appointment.
Folks, attention. We appreciate your patience and we're doing the best we can. We have exhausted our supply of meals ready to eat for today. What? Please remain calm. You'll be set free. Hey, can we get some help over here? We need you to leave the parking orderly fashion.
Okay? All right, they got one.
Get the truck!
These documents will typically be very specific about where you're allowed to go and when.
When did we run out of body bags? 2 days ago. We're trying to get more in from Canada.
Helping the authorities to determine if you're in violation of curfew or travel restrictions. If martial law is declared nationally, you'll need those documents to leave your home city and travel anywhere else. And any foreign travel will have to be approved in advance. To enforce travel and movement restrictions, security checkpoints will be placed throughout your city and strategic areas. If the emergency is bad enough that segregation of the population and tight movement control is necessary, you could even see entire streets closed off and neighborhoods get barricaded. This will be done in order to ensure that there are only a select amount of avenues of travel through a city. which can be all overwatched by a series of security checkpoints. In the United States, though, Supreme Court decisions have worked to limit the scope of martial law. And even if martial law is declared, citizens still have a right to a civil trial that will save America. Either way, at least you can still watch your favorite YouTube